So, what is your favorite character from Dungeons and Dragons?
Character.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's. That's too broad of a question. How about what is your favorite class from Dungeons and Dragons?
I definitely have a favorite class from Dungeons and Dragons. I also have some least favorite classes.
Okay, so let me refine the question. What is your favorite and least favorite class as a player and DM?
Ah, let's discuss that.
Yes, let's. All right,
So,
and we're back.
Welcome to Dual DMs.
That's right. This isn't murder and conspiracy.
Oh no, you might have been confused from some of our other projects.
But we have switched places.
What?
So that's how
That's
you
how
know
you-
that this is dual DMs.
And right now we're not in a car. I mean,
No.
I mean clearly that's this is a big car, so
Yeah, it's a big.
the car has blinds, bro.
Yeah, dude, I
Nice.
threw them in there, man. This is a motorhome.
Shaggin' wagon, bro.
The shagging wagon. No, okay. Anyway,
Don't try to make it more than it is.
jokes aside.
All right.
Jokes aside,
So-
I'm Marcus Marisi. I
I'm
am-
Johnny Crow. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say
Oh,
what
I
I am
apologize.
is Raven from Murder and Conspiracy, or DM number 1 from Dual DMs.
Oh, he always like to put that these DM number 1. All right, so again, I'm Johnny Crow. I am DM number 3.
Yeah.
I always joke on his number 1 thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, from the Dual DM show, the campaign that we did on Twitch and YouTube, called Sands of Change. Some of you might be familiar with that. If not, go check it out. We do have some awesome video. Then I am Crow from Murder Conspiracy.
Just
Whatever. I apologize.
Whatever.
But yeah, so check those shows out, definitely.
Yeah, please. They're on our YouTube channel.
We decided to, since we do a lot of D&D stuff and we have a lot of some other projects going on, we decided to kind of transform Dual DMs into kind of our opinion with the two DMs.
Yeah.
And we'll try to have, if we can, have other DMs on here to discuss some things.
Yeah. We want to keep it real.
We want to keep it real. We're
This
not
is
like,
us, coming at you, so you get to know us
Yeah.
better than just.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the trenches just like you guys. Whether we're DMing or playing, we've been on both sides of the table, and so that's kind of what the show's about.
Okay, so back to the topic at hand.
Yes,
Who wants to go first?
I think you should go first.
All right, I should go first.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, hit me with them
So,
sweet
what
questions,
was
man.
let's discuss your favorite class and least favorite class, both as a player and as a DM, if you have them.
Lots of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
So, I have a little bit of an answer to this already because I've got some time to think about it before.
Yeah.
I would say that my favorite would probably be the Wizard as a player. I did like Rogue as well, but Wizard won out. I just like the versatility.
So you like to stand back from the crowd? You don't like to get in the fray?
No, I'll get in the fray, man.
Oh.
Wizards can get in the fray too. We got all sorts of skills. Depending on how you make your character, I'm not saying I'm power playing, but I just say depending on how you visualize your character, you make your character. Your character can get in there as a wizard and can get out. Wizards, depending on your spells, they have a lot of escape, and that's one of the things that really excites me. I would say as a player, they have that escape, they have that powerhouse of attacks, and then they can do a lot of stuff with many different unique magical things, just because that's part of their wheelhouse.
So you're not big into the sorcerer or the now warlock and any other thing. You just like that versatility.
I would say I did like the concept of like the sorcerer and stuff, but it was the fact that with the wizard you just had so much available to you that you could choose from, and it's that knowledge base, the study, the learning, how you can add more and have like the different books, and to me it really gives me that feel that I look for when I want to be in a fantasy world as a magic person.
I see that. So, any what about your favorite as a DM? Do you have any specific favorites when you're DMing?
When I'm DMing, I think I would have to say I like seeing clerics and paladins. Just it does help with the party dynamic and helps take away a lot of that that downtime where you're like, what do you do when you rush in as a group? You get beat down, and then you're like, okay, now we have to rest because nobody has any healing capabilities. Or the cleric could just go boom, or paladin or whatever, and you're back into the next battle and you're moving on through the dungeon, and there's a little more
I see that. I can
flow. See that. My least favorite,
either player or DM or both.
Both. Okay. And that is Bard. And just because, not that the Bards are bad, but it's just not something I personally find an interest in. I kind of lean away from all that stuff, and I like maybe more the barbarian aspect of it. No, that's just kidding. I don't. That is not one of the things that I like at all. So as a DM, I don't like the barbarian.
That's a little clue from one of our campaign. We had someone play a barbarian.
It's so hard.
I loved it, man. I loved it. Honestly,
it was so hard. I mean, I made it because he was playing as a grappler. Yeah, it was the grappling dynamic.
I had challenged us as a DMs, but I think I liked it because it kind of charted new territory.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of the hard part. Like, it can be difficult because if you're kind of stepping into new territory or territory you're not familiar with, it can kind of be hard if you're not able to like go on the try to create a new rule or try to figure out the proper rule, especially if you're trying to combine two different classes with that. So I think it turned out role play wise amazingly.
Yeah,
mechanics wise, it could have been a little better.
It needed more work, and it was definitely something that we did like. So I'm gonna wait. Sorry about them technical difficulties. I just had a moment glitch. Anyway, we were basically in the middle of asking you. So, what is your favorite and least favorite class to play and or DM for?
Let's see. Well, my favorite class, typically, I have pretty much every iteration of Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, any kind of game. I typically play a rogue, sometimes sniper, kind of one of those ones that kind of steps back or kind of sneaks in.
Oh, so you do like to take...
I love it
from
because
the back line.
I do. But it's not like I'm afraid to get in there. It's more of I like the stealth and the to get people off guard.
Right, except for when you play Rouge.
Okay.
Then you run right in.
A little background on that. I decided to try to play something different, but I didn't have a lot of time because we were doing it was somebody else's game. I wasn't DMing, and so I kind of was like trying to cobble together something, and I wanted to play a new race, and I kind of wanted to play things differently, but I'm so used to playing rogues, so I decided to play a rogue. But I played an Earth Genasi, so I ended up doing a strength and like constitution base, like where they're really strong. He still had a high dexterity, but I had a dump stat, and that dump stat was intelligence. So he played a little bit less than smart, but my initial like thought process on this was something like Liam Neeson and Taken, where big dude but fast, can sneak up on you and break your neck or rip the car door off if he needs to. You know, that type of, you're strong, but people don't automatically assume you're just kind of like
kind of like Jason Statham.
Exactly. So
yeah, really cool dude.
But so I didn't want the full appearance of just strength, but I also didn't want people automatically assume because I'm, if I was slender or whatever, to be like a rogue. I wanted that kind of like, oh, you're probably a fighter, so, I don't know. That was kind of how I was playing it.
Right.
Well, in my rush, the DM asked us to write little cards with our name and class and all that stuff on there, so we can keep track of us on the table. And I ended up writing out the word rouge on accident. It happens, even for writers. So anyways, it became like an inside joke. Everybody started calling me rouge, kind of making it inside, but it made it even funnier that my character was not the typical rogue. It was a rogue who couldn't really break a trap.
Yeah, that's definitely why he got that painted on him.
In character, they started calling me a rouge.
The least rogue.
The least rogue. Case in point, I think I died unconscious or whatever, like 4 or 5 times trying to open up a trap that was really just an illusion. But we won't get into that. That's another story for another time.
It was the same mechanic that took you down.
It was the exact same mechanic. So my favorite typically is those kind of characters that use stealth in some capacity.
Okay.
But I really just like trying.
You like that as a DM too?
As a DM, I don't mind that as a DM. I like characters people who play characters that are either unconventional or kind of out of the box. Because to me, it livens the role play versus the mechanics. And I'm a role player type DM. I know we're a little bit different on how we DM. That's kind of why we started the dual DMs, because we wanted to mold together what's good and not necessarily what's bad.
The challenge of it.
The challenge of it. I like that. I like the challenge because to me, it creates unique opportunities.
Well, and one other thing to touch on that, I just want to say is, it was a challenge, but I also thought, as learning how to be a DM, because we weren't even
we've not been doing it.
We're not even the scale of really good DMs, but I thought if we did something like this out of the box, it would definitely help us get more of a challenge to learn to DM better.
Yeah, and that's exactly our thought process in that. That's how we started this whole thing. But as far as my least favorites, either as a player or as a DM, I honestly gotta say Paladin, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this because there's a lot of you Paladin lovers out there, and even you said you like Paladin. I don't mind clerics and stuff.
I think it was the first class. It was either Ranger or Paladin. The first class I ever played when I played D&D.
But this comes back from me playing back in the day, like we played AD&D and some of those other ones, even 3rd edition. My biggest problem is, even in life, I have this tendency to push away or to be against dogmatic type things. So no matter what kind of player, I can't get into the mindset, I think, of a Paladin because of that dogma.
They have that.
I understand
belief,
that. I understand that.
But this is a whole nother. This is a whole other show. That's where their conspiracy dialogue.
So, but mechanically, as a DM, I don't like it because typically they're the people who I've played with or I've DM'd typically do Paladins as more mechanic based. Although I have seen lately, we had Bo on our Santa Change campaign. He played a different type of Paladin than I've ever seen. And I enjoyed it. It was one of the first times that I kind of enjoyed it. Like I said, again, I'm less about mechanics and more about roleplay, and he played that roleplay character, I think, a little bit better than I've seen the other typical.
And I got to give it to him. Remember when he rolled that crit with his whip and just took that person's face off as a paladin with a whip?
I'm telling you, man, that's those times that role-playing creates the opportunities rather than the mechanics creating the opportunities. The mechanics are just there for necessity's sake, I think the point.
Well, to help, at least guide the story.
The only other time I've personally seen a paladin that I enjoyed was Joe Manganiello. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. I apologize. I do apologize, man. I am a super huge fan.
I love your new really should know his name.
Death saves. What?
Anyways. Whoa! Whoa! That's Joe coming at you
I'm
really
telling
angry
you,
right
this
now.
is blowing up.
He knew it hurt it.
Honestly, man,
Blaspheme.
I think it was on. I think when he did, I saw him the first play of Paladin when he played on Force Grey. I think it was Force Grey, but I think he was coming from another show or another thing where he played the same character. But man, he played that Oathbreaker Paladin, the Dragon. Was it Dragonborn or I can't remember if it was Dragonborn.
I think it was Dragonborn. I think he was, but anyway.
Either way, his rendition of that character, the whole mindset, the whole playthrough, the role playing aspect of it, phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Even just I've never seen one played that way, and to me, like I could see myself playing that type of character. So I'm not a full hater, but typically those are the ones I typically stay away from. I've never played. I think I played a bard once, but I think I haven't gotten in the mindset of being able to, but I think I would make a good bard. I just don't. I've never seen myself as a singer or
you can
one
pull
of those
a
kind
bard
of things.
off. I just, yet again, still not a huge fan.
But otherwise, man, I don't like power. Yeah, I don't like power gamers.
You don't like Paladin. Oh.
I don't like power gamers.
I don't like power gamers. Now it doesn't mean I don't like you, power gamer.
I just don't like people who play just for the aspect of the power game because you break the game in an unfun way. Whereas I don't mind like trying to make your character like mold a character to a specific path, but you gotta have some pros and cons because those negatives can actually sometimes be your the whole point is to me a power gamer is almost the same as an evil character. They do one thing really good, and their downfall is
I'm sure, and
sometimes usually asinine.
I'm devil's advocate here, not that because I'm not a fan of that either. But devil's advocate, there is certain scenarios where I think if people wanted a power game and that was part of their whole thing, let them go to it. But it's just to have that player who comes in and role play wise. I have to have it this way, and then you kind of sometimes I've noticed those players come in and they try to control all the aspects, not just for them, but for the other players. And that kind of like, for me, I've noticed it just takes away from a lot of the fun that people are having.
If we could have an whole episode on power gamers.
Yeah, but that's another topic, and we could discuss it. And hey, feel free to hit us at any comment.
I think that's about the time for us today.
Yeah.
But like you said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the little bell,
whatever. Get notifications.
Put in the comments. Let us know what you think. Also, if you have any topics you want us to discuss, whether it's power gaming, whether it's anything else that you want, let us know in the comments. We'll see if we can make an episode on it. Maybe we'll touch base on that. But otherwise, remember, check us out on Murder Conspiracy, our dual DMs on Twitch, and our other past episodes for the campaign.
The Twitch is under the same moniker as this, which is Crafty Fellows, Twitch, Crafty Fellows here. But we do have specifically for dual DMs. Instagram and Facebook page. So that will be just the Dungeons and Dragons related content. You can check that out there. That's also will be the home for any of the other types of shows that we have coming. We do have some other shows that are slated to be released here soon.
And check out that Twitch. Check out that Twitch channel. That's other stuff that's not just dual DMs. We'll have other stuff on there. But thanks for watching.
Yeah, appreciate it. And remember,
I don't remember.
Roll 20.
Roll 20.
Hey, why not?
Roll a 20.
Roll a 20. Because you don't want to roll 1. Just like our ratings.